So good morning. My name is Krista Fox from Changeosity. I'm one of the co-founders of Changeosity, and we're a strategic leadership, strategy and culture advisory firm. I've got Carinne Bird with me this morning. Carinne is the Senior Director of ICT Product and Marketing at Do. Carinne, good morning, welcome. And we're looking forward to talking today about leadership and your experience of leadership.
Great, Krista. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So, Carinne, what remedies do leaders have available to them when things are, not getting delivered, things are getting delayed? It might be because of there's a sense of apathy, or there could be conflict in the team instead of collaboration, might be something else. What do you see as the biggest killers of productivity? And can you give us, one or two remedies that we can use to overcome them?
Yeah, so I guess there's two views of this for me, and I'm going to focus on one in particular, which is when you're personally not productive versus a team not being productive. When you're personally not productive, typically something's gripped you, something has gripped your headspace. Yeah. And as that's gripped you, you can't be effective because you're operating over the top of it, and it's kind of got you. You haven't got it, it's got you. And I have an expression I call that, which is being plugged in. If you're plugged into something, there's no way you can be truly productive because it's got you. And so and you can feel it, actually. Like if you're angry and you hear the expression, my blood boiled, I mean, you can actually feel that heat inside your body when you're angry. If you have been stressed, you can feel that knot in your stomach. And, if you've been disappointed, you can feel that draining of energy and tiredness that overwhelms you. So if you know there's been something that has occurred, what I do when I'm in one of those, I can feel it in my body. When I'm off, I can feel when I'm plugged in. And I take 15 minutes, it shouldn't take any longer than that, 15 minutes of time out. Again, I'm a pen to paper person, and I start reflecting on what happened before I started to feel that way. And there'll be a conversation of some sort that's happened. And I get really honest with myself. I get, really down into he said, she said, I said, and then what did I make it mean? So I'll give you an example. Let's say Joe is not particularly one of the star performers of a team, but all of a sudden he gets a pet project to go and work on. Yeah. And you might be sitting there feeling, how unfair is that? That's so unfair. I mean, I'm here and I'm putting in all the time. I mean, why didn't I get that opportunity to work on the pet project versus him? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And I could look at that and really think, if I was really honest with myself, there's a pang of injustice that's really happening there for me in my mind. But there's also a pang of probably envy or jealousy that's also there, and whatever else might come up around that. Now, that's one interpretation, of, he got the role, I didn't, and it's unfair. It could be that a way to actually get Joe to be more productive and effective in the team is to give him a bigger project under a spotlight, where some of those areas that he hasn't been showing up in the team really start to become highlighted, right? And again, I think if we bring that empathy versus judgment to the conversation, and we start to focus on how can I just go about making myself a better person inside of this in the organisation and making a difference versus focusing on what Joe's getting and what I'm not getting, you get some relief from it. You get to let it go. Yeah. And I think if you can start parking it over to one side and start to see that it really sits over there, you get some freedom from it, and it allows you to get back and be productive. I think that's a really important tool to mentally know when you're plugged in and to step back and get free. And I think when that sort of behaviour starts to show up in teams, then it's time to bring everyone together and really confront the core issue in a professional and a pragmatic way. It doesn't need to be emotive in any way, but you need to address the core issue. Yeah, you need to have that conversation. Maybe sometimes it is good to have it on one first to let people release the emotion, but not be judgmental inside of that. Look for that empathy and then look at how you can address that problem with the team collectively.
You know, it's just so clear to me how strong your emotional intelligence is in how you lead. And of course, that's something that we see as being incredibly powerful in people-led leadership, leading through change in a people-focused way. I'm really grateful for your sharing your views and your insights into leadership, Carinne, and particularly sharing that story with us and that example of how you would actually walk through that particular situation and sort of, relieve yourself of some of those very negative feelings. So thank you.
Thanks, Krista. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.